Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let us continue with Surah An-Nisaa bihawlillahi wa quwwatih. Ayah number 150. قال الله تعالى إن الذين يكفرون بالله ورسوله ويريدون أن يفرقوا بين الله ورسله ويقولون نؤمن ببعض ونكفر ببعض ويريدون أن يتخذوا بين ذلك سبيلا. This ayah came down referring to the Yahud and Nasara. It says that they yakfaruna, they make kufr in Allah and His messengers, all His messengers. And then the ayah explains what this means. They want to yufarriqu, to separate between Allah and His messengers, meaning the belief in Allah and the belief in His messengers, they want to separate between them. And this ayah explains this further. They say we believe in some, meaning believe in some messengers, and disbelieve in some others. And they want to yattakhidhu, to take bayna dhalika sabila, a way between that. Meaning to say, a way between fully disbelieving in Allah and the messengers, like atheists do, and fully believing in Allah and all His messengers, like the Muslims do. So they want to take a way in between. Just notice a linguistic note. He says bayna dhalika, referring to two things. You may think that if two things are involved, should it not be bayna dhainika? And the answer is that dhalika is appropriate for singular and a double. We find another example of this in Surah Al-Baqarah, where Musa alayhi salam says, إِنَّهَا بَقَرَةٌ لَا فَارِضٌ وَلَا بِكْرٌ عَوَانٌ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ. It is a cow which is neither old nor young, but it is in between that, meaning between these two things. And yet the word ذَلِكَ is used. Ayah 151, he continues, أُولَئِكَ هُمْ الْكَافِرُونَ حَقًّا وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابًا مُهِينًا. Ulaika, those people, meaning the Yahud and Nasara, they are the kuffar, the disbelievers, haqqan, in truth. Haqqan is mansub bil fatha, because it is a maf'ulun mutlaq, an absolute passive participle to emphasize the verb. The verb being emphasized is not explicitly stated. It would read haqqa dhalika haqqan, that is indeed the truth. And then the ayah says that we have prepared for the kuffar a humiliating chastisement, referring to Jahannam. So reflecting on these two ayatan, we take that the Yahud and Nasara, they do not have integrity to Allah Jalla wa Ala, because if they did, they would believe in all of the messengers, just like the Muslimun do. We find that the Yahud and Nasara are people of desires, as anyone who opposes Allah, then he is actually following his own desires. We take the vital lesson that disbelieving in some of the messengers and prophets is equivalent to disbelieving in all of them, as Allah Jalla wa Ala calls them kuffar in truth. We find that with the deen of Al-Islam, you're either all in or all out. You cannot take a middle way, because the middle way is kufr. We find that Allah Jalla wa Ala has prepared for the kuffar a painful torment, a humiliating torment. So muhin means that which humiliates, from ahana yuhinu ihanatan, to humiliate. And this is fitting because kuffar are kuffar because they are too proud to submit to the truth. And so the proud should be humiliated. That is a fitting punishment. We also find in this ayah idhar fi mawdi' al-idmar, as we have made mention of many times before. And this is because he says وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابًا مُهِينًا. So he uses the word لِلْكَافِرِينَ explicitly, where you may have expected him to say وَأَعْتَدْنَا لَهُمْ عَذَابًا مُهِينًا. We have prepared for them a humiliating chastisement. So he's telling us here that the reason or the justification why they have a humiliating chastisement is because of their kufr. This ayah is also a rebuttal against those who say that the Jews and Christians, because they are Ahlul Kitab, they are believers. This ayah tells us clearly that they are kuffar. and can never take the ruling of a believer. As for their slaughtered meat being allowed to eat and their chaste women being allowed to marry, then this is an exception to the general rule. It is not the general rule itself. Ayah number 152. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ وَلَمْ يُفَرِّقُوا بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ أُولَئِكَ سَوْفَ يُؤْتِيهِمْ أُجُورَهُمْ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. In this ayah he speaks about the proper believers, the Muslimun. He says, and those who have Iman. That's a key term we have spoken about before. So we'll say believe in Allah and His messengers, as in all His messengers. And they do not separate between any one of them, meaning any one of the messengers. They believe in all of them. They do not pick and choose like the Yahud. He says, Ulaika, those are the people that we will give them their ujur, their rewards, meaning their reward for their Iman. And Allah was ever the forgiving, the merciful. Reflecting on this ayah, we find that the Quran always speaks of opposites. So just like in the previous two ayat, the Quran spoke of people who do not have integrity, and now in this ayah, Allah Jalla wa Ala speaks of those who do have integrity to Allah Jalla wa Ala and all His messengers. And like this, the Quran maintains balance. And those who lose balance lose everything. Not just physical balance to keep you upright, but also ideological balance to keep you guided. Okay, here's a question. What does it mean to believe in the messengers? Well, the answer is, as for those messengers whose names we know, then we believe in them individually, that they were true messengers of Allah. And as for those whose names we do not know, then we believe in them wholesale, so that we believe that Allah Jalla wa Ala has sent down many messengers, and they were all true messengers. We find that the Muslimun do not pick and choose which messengers they believe in, because picking and choosing, of course, we learned, is kufr, in truth. However, the Muslim is allowed to say that some messengers are more virtuous than other messengers, so that all the messengers are not on the same level with regards to virtue. And the Quran itself tells us, تِلْكَ الرُّسُلُ فَضَّلْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ. Those are the messengers, we preferred some over others. We also note how Allah Jalla wa Ala calls the thawab, the reward, ajr, where He uses the plural ujur. Now ajr normally means wages. So He calls the reward, thawab, ajr, wages. Why would He do that? It is because the ajr is absolutely confirmed and established. If somebody works for you and has completed the job you hired him to do you have a choice in giving him the wages? The answer is no, you have no choice. You absolutely must give him his wages. There's no ifs or buts. And so this is how Allah Jalla wa Ala describes to us the reward. It is absolutely confirmed, and no one will be dealt with unjustly in terms of not receiving their reward, or in terms of receiving a shortfall in their reward. We also from this ayah pick up the two names of Allah, Ghafoor and Rahim, along with their attributes which are uniquely befitting to Allah Jalla wa Ala. هذا والله أعلم.